that over. I hope that caught your attention a little bit. We're going to head over to a bit of a presentation. Yeah. We're going to keep it short, but we'll keep it interesting with some stories. So who is Meraki? Meraki was purchased by Cisco in 2012. It's the leader in cloud networking. And why has it become so relevant in our world today? Well, not only has procurement of technology changed, the ability for customers to now take part of a vendor's product and implement it into a strategy for their business allows you to remain competitive, because that's really why we operate. We want to remain competitive and we want to provide services and products to customers, and that goes the same for anybody within the business community. And in order to do that, we try and move our business to more agile technologies in the cloud. So that journey to cloud has been happening for quite a number of years, and it will continue to happen. But with any new strategy or any new road comes its own challenges, and one of those challenges is most definitely connectivity. You know, today we look back at connectivity and we start thinking about when MPLS came in and how we structured networks to provide connectivity out to multiple sites, and we simply ensured that those sites received just enough connectivity. What was important for us was the security of that connectivity and the reliability of that connectivity. But today, more and more bandwidth is being consumed. And what Becky and the team are doing, and doing really well, is delivering a service out to the countries where they operate, and it's powered by Meraki SD-WAN. So what is SD-WAN? SD-WAN is, quite simply put, software-defined wide area network. And what this allows you to do is start looking at this current infrastructure and connectivity format that you are in, and start moving to more of an augmented connectivity model. And you would not be the only one in your country to do that. We have existing customers within the countries where you are based that are multinationals that are already making use of this technology through their technology partners. And some of those partners, some of those customers are already with ProComm. So quite significant, to say the least, that the uptake and adoption of this technology is nothing new in the market. Let me give you some examples. So Lafarge is one of the biggest tarmac companies. They use Meraki as part of a service and SD-WAN across Africa and the Middle East to manage all of their connectivity. International breweries, you may know them as AB InBev. They use that across Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda. So they're multinationals, and they use SD-WAN and centralized service delivery from a managed service provider like ProComm to obtain and consume that service. And then you've got SRTC, Southern Region Trading Company in Zimbabwe. They have over 500 sites that get delivered for them on Meraki SD-WAN. So the technology is there, it's been available. It's very, very good that ProComm has brought everybody together today to present it to you. So what Meraki is a cloud networking solution, and simply what that means in short is that the controllers and all of the orchestration for this technology sits in the cloud or the data centers. And what we then provide is the technology to ProComm to deliver a consumable product out to customers. Effectively, the long and short of it is that if you can augment your connectivity, you're able to reduce cost, and ProComm is able to deliver that to you at a lower cost. But what that also allows you to do is have higher uptimes. Let me give you an example. So if you've got a multi-site environment and you're running MPLS between those sites, and you want those branches to access cloud applications, they would need to run through your hub in order to access those applications. And what that inevitably results or translates into is higher bandwidth consumption on MPLS and higher cost. But what that also does is it really does provide a bottleneck at your hub, and you would need to invest quite a bit of capex to upgrade your hub to handle all of that traffic. So what does ProComm bring to the table? ProComm brings to the table the capability for you to find the shortest path to your applications. And that means that you now have the capability of going, say, you have got your MPLS in Botswana with BTC. You are now able to consume connectivity, not only from BTC, but from Abari, from Bofinet, from Mascom, from Orange, from any of the other providers, and you can provide those links to your local branches wherever that connectivity is available at a much cheaper rate, higher bandwidth, and rely on ProComm with Cisco Meraki to secure it and to provide you some deep analytics on that connectivity so that you know that the applications are performing, and they're performing not only on your WAN architecture, but they're also performing for all your clients on your network, so you personally. And that doesn't matter really where you are, if you are at home or whether you're in the branch office. And ideally, the main result of all of this is better access to applications. You know exactly how they're performing and where they may be finding difficulty in performing within your network. But most of all, your productivity rates remain high, and you have a more stable connectivity option available for yourself. So Becky did mention not everybody's technical on the call. So effectively, for those of you who are not technical, imagine a highway or motorway. And if you've only got one single or say a 4-lane motorway, effectively what you're doing here is you're building a whole new highway on top of that. And what you are then doing is you are managing the application's performance across 2 highways instead of 1. And you're doing it at a much lower cost because you're not having to, so we say, build brand new infrastructure to do that. So yeah, you can see a little graph or a little picture there. And what that simply means is that we find and provide the shortest path to cloud applications. And that gives you the opportunity to really work with ProComm in predicting any other cloud applications that you will be adopting in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and how that will affect your network and what you need to do from a connectivity standpoint in terms of supplementing your connectivity to cope with that. And that's really where SD-WAN makes the big difference, because you're not having to rely on a single provider, you're not having to rely just on MPLS, and you don't have to bear the cost of MPLS. So we support over 3.4 million active networks across the world, over 10 million active devices or nodes, and we ensure that those devices across the world have the security infrastructure capability to deal with threats, and it is supported by Cisco's signature science team, which is called the Talos team. It's the only business and company in the world that has a team of people, a team of scientists that make sure that threats do not become a burden on your network. And it could be as simple as some malware or ransomware that enters your network and slows down your network, and that's bad for productivity. We're walking into a world where Becky also mentioned that skills become a shortage, or shall we say skill shortages in the new world is a bit of a challenge because of the changing technology landscape. And we are going to move into a world where, for example, I can say to you, you will no longer be hiring for job roles, you'll be hiring for skills. So, you know, if you would have normally hired a marketing manager, you'll now be looking for somebody that's a market maker. And there's time-bound limits on that, but this is merely dependent on the transformation that each country takes on and each company takes on and is willing to take on. But really, Meraki provides a multitude of services to ProComm, which can be provided to customers And there's a full range of products that ProComm can bring to the table, which includes your surveillance systems, which we call computer vision. It includes application awareness, which monitors all of your cloud applications for you and gives you performance statistics and tells you where there are outages with service providers. And ProComm has got access to all of this to ensure that they've got rich conversations with you and work with you to implement technologies that are going to be useful and productive for your business. There are a multitude of connectivity options as well, so you can connect not only on fiber, copper, MPLS, but you can also do mobile connectivity at sites. So you can supplement and you can become really diverse in how you service your organization. Wireless and switching is also available across the board, and you can get all of that consumed in a single monthly cost from ProComm. And Becky and the team have worked really hard in driving our prices to make sure that they bring the best in class to market for you guys. Being in the cloud means that we are agile and that we are always updating products. So not only will your network not only be a great network in terms of feature sets and capability, but it will become better with time because we're continuously releasing new features that Becky will release to you as well, and maintenance windows to upgrade the networks, keep them safe, but also make sure that they are capable of doing so much more than you thought they would be able to do. So SD-WAN, we're still on the subject. So Cisco provides two SD-WAN options, Meraki being the largest SD-WAN provider currently on planet Earth, with Viptela for large infrastructures continuously in data centers, providing the capability of really complex routing that needs to be configured across multiple countries. To give you an example of that, with AB InBev breweries, they are a multi-continent, worldwide company. We use SD-WAN with Viptela between continents in their data centers, and Meraki, provided by a service provider, is then deployed across Africa, across 10 countries, 172 sites, to centralize all of the management of the WAN connectivity and their full network actually from South Africa. So they are able to now manage their networks and provide a service to AB InBev from South Africa for the whole of Africa. So Becky and the team with his engineering team and his NOC team are able to assist you in building a centralized strategy for multi-site deployments on SD-WAN with ease. And the deployment and time to value is really important for customers. You know, it's great if we've got fantastic technology, but if it's complex to implement, if it's complex to manage, and if you are not able to really get the data that you need out of it to make decisions now, then really where is the value? Where are you finding yourself in a position of advantage? And is it becoming a net, shall we say, net zero economy, or are you getting some net benefit out of any new technology that you invest in? So the devices that we bring to market is really just that. They are devices. They come with various ports, various uplinks. I mean, we can get into the technical, but the key elements to really understand about the devices and the service that ProComm bring to market is that it's flexible. It accommodates multiple connectivity options. It provides you with security. It provides you with insights. It tracks all of the application performance across all of your network, and all of that is neatly packaged through ProComm as a service, and it provides you with that detailed reporting so that when you do have your yearly or quarterly review meetings with ProComm, the conversation is rich in data and you can make decisions which are healthy for your business to remain competitive and agile. And that's really the exciting part of all of this, that it becomes less of a burden to manage technology and more of an exciting opportunity for you to grow your business, find new revenue streams, and work with a partner like ProComm to deliver that with you. So API configurations and open analytics are available with Meraki, and it means that you can integrate your services into the system, and that includes wireless as a service. So if you're in retail or in any other business that requires customers or foot traffic, you can analyze that and you can start monetizing it. This is just a bit of an example of what it looks like to view your applications and what that means in terms of where you are able to identify bottlenecks and issues with particular applications in your organization and address those immediately so that we don't go through a multitude of ticketing systems and analytics and reproduction of issues. I mean, how many times have we all created a service desk ticket and we get the email back which says, can you please reproduce the steps on how you got to the point at which you faced the issue? And now you don't have to do that anymore. ProComm are able to do proactive troubleshooting with you because they will have exactly all of the information they need to ensure that your business remains up and running throughout a very unpredictable time in our world that we live in. So we also support voice over IP with ProComm, and that includes ensuring that you are able to really view the performance of your voice over IP, and it's all done in a single platform of which you get a branded portal for. And what we're finding is that we need to move, if not most of, the curation and access for clients on the network, your employees coming onto the network, to the edge. So the investment that Cisco is making in Cisco Meraki, providing that capability to ProComm to deliver a service where you are now able to adopt a real wireless first strategy within your business, curate your bandwidth consumption across the organization, but dependent on the business critical applications that you want employees to consume and perform on. So you become the master of your network with ProComm providing you that rich capability in an easy to consume monthly cost. You can't get any better than that. There's loads of integrations that we're bringing to market, and we at Cisco see the value in providing more insights to customers. So Thousand Eyes is our latest acquisition that we're bringing into the platform. And really what you find in this world today is that it's a platform world. You choose the platform on which you want to build your business, and it is dependent on how many applications you can integrate into that platform to create an ecosystem in your business that's going to allow you to perform. Furthermore, Meraki will also provide you with the capability with ProComm in hand to provide you with something called Auto VPN. This is something that's unique to Cisco, Meraki, and ProComm. Auto VPN ensures that your VPN connectivity remains up, even though there's no traffic flowing over those VPN connections, and that will allow you to obviously have more stable service, and also that overlays onto your connectivity options that you choose. So we had 40 path 9 at the moment, or 2210. We can go through a couple more slides, but Becky, I just wanted to check in with you in terms of maybe something else that you will say is very important for us to touch on before we move any further into the presentation.
I think we're doing fine, Nikki. Nick, so you can continue. I don't know if
audience, encourage the audience to access the Q&A on WebEx, ask questions, so that we can answer those questions for you as well. What's key, really, I think, Becky, for us all, especially when you start moving into AWS and the cloud and web services, is that you have virtual appliances that sit within those data centers. So not only are we securing the LAN and across sites, but we're also securing the access to those services in both private and public cloud. So not only are you ensuring that you are able to augment your connectivity, provide better connectivity options to those branches, the access to those applications are secure as well. So there's performance monitoring across the board. Again, your service from ProComm will include all of this reporting and capability, and you have this functionality available to look out for any lost jet or latency issues that you may have with your network, and you can address those immediately. So we can go through multiple pages here. Natively secure simply means, as I mentioned, Talos, loads and loads of insights that we provide from a Talos perspective for the whole Cisco organization. We work with multiple intelligence agencies across the world and loads of groups across the world to ensure that we spot threats early, especially when it comes to zero-day malware, where there is no significant response to that available as yet. And remember, anybody within a network across the world that experiences or detects a threat, we will then deploy patches out to all of our networks. So if somebody within the US experiences something or detects something, we will supply Becky with the patches and upgrades immediately to deliver that out to customers, to protect all of the customers within our networks. Security options available is lately we've integrated our Cisco Umbrella cloud open DNS, or shall we say, within Meraki, but it is so much more. This allows you to orchestrate most of your security portfolio, or shall we say, posturing within the cloud. And that would include things like data loss prevention, secure web gateways. And this is simply a little application or license that we overlay and integrate within the Meraki platform. And that's very useful when it comes to you running BYOD in your organization, or simply wanting to ensure that any traffic outbound from your network is done in a secure manner and that it doesn't bring any passengers back with it into your network. So there we are. I'm going to finish off with this particular slide here. What we have is, and what we've discussed today, is an ability for you to be able to consume a augmented connectivity option from ProComm as a service. We've also discussed today the capability of the security portfolio, which is integrated within that service, making sure that if you are using anything that is not MPLS, that it is secure, and that we are also monitoring the performance of that connectivity. It is all managed centrally and delivered by ProComm, and you then benefit from the capability of integrating further Cisco products and services to enhance your security portfolio, ensure that you are have processes in place for data loss prevention, and that your users have a better experience using applications which are critical to your business. And all of this is done at a very, very fast pace, because the configuration and deployment of Cisco Meraki powered through ProComm, the time to value is zero touch, and ProComm have seen the power of that many a times over with customers, and we've also seen the capability that ProComm brings to the market. So Becky, I'm going to stop there for now. I just wanted to request maybe just if you wish for me to show the dashboard, or we can just open up to questions.
Yes, if you can proceed to show the dashboard, but before then, I just wanted to pass a comment. I'm sure for most of our attendees, clients who are here, who have been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
I myself, being an engineer, I have not seen a product that has got so much in one product. So you remember, as the networks were evolving, that we used to probably have a separate device just for routing, a separate device for a VPN, a separate device for security, a separate device for application delivery. and so on. But Meraki MX devices, which you can now just install one device at your branch or head office, you can now deliver all that capability in one device. So in an organization, you had to have multiple skilled people just to run your network. And also what is important about the Meraki devices is the visibility that it actually gives you in terms of knowing what traffic is traversing your network and applying policies for that traffic based on your business requirements. So it's quite exciting, and we would like to give you the power over your network to run and manage your network efficiently using the Cisco Meraki SDWAN technology through the MX devices. So I've not seen any device or any technology that is so easy to run and manage, but has so much to deliver for giving you full control of your network and infrastructure. You will know the headaches you get just trying to understand what traffic is traversing your network and application performance over your network. So we can now deliver this as a service for you and take away this headache from you. Thank you, Nick. You can proceed to show us the visibility that you get out of the Cisco Meraki dashboard.
So we'll keep it nice and short. Again, you know, we can always come back and have sessions with individual customers and be a bit more curated in how we supply, or shall we say, present it. So this is the Meraki dashboard. This is what we normally show customers. And over here, you can see 3.46 million active networks across the world use Meraki already. And that number is just growing. And it's just due to the flexibility and the capability. I'm going to just take you through some very quick steps. Yes, it can be deployed on a single network as well, single environment. So on the left-hand side, you can see that we have all of the sites that belong to our corporation in Meraki. So this is our live production sites. And what I'm able to do is, for you guys who don't know where I'm sitting in Brighton in the UK, and I can take you to San Francisco. And as easy as that, I can go to San Francisco and I can go and view the full elements of my network across the board. And it includes everything from SD-WAN to my routing and security, to my switching, my wireless, my mobile device management, my CCTV infrastructure, my environmental sensors. That includes temperature, humidity, door open, close sensors. It gives me the visibility I need to maybe reduce the amount of air conditioning I use across my organization, or make sure that the branches are actually switching off the air conditioners at night when the offices are closed. Then we have our insights, web applications, and licensing. And then you have your full reporting and firmware upgrades. So just to give you an idea of what our VPN status looks like across our environment and how we connect our sites in terms of hub and spoke, immediately you can see here that we've got Cloud Interconnect Tokyo, which is having some problems with connectivity. And just because we can see it, you know, it doesn't mean that everything is always green on Meraki. We at Network always have some challenges as well, but the key difference is we can solve them, and we can solve them quickly. So if this was critical, there would have been a case open already, but what you can see here is our full VPN mesh connectivity, and I can go click on any of these and look at the performance of those. So let's hop over to Sydney on the other side of the world. And this was one of the slides I showed you where we can see the latency, the jitter, the loss, and the MOS scoring. So very, very in-depth capability for you to be able to deploy this. And we've got a large ministry in Botswana has just moved towards Meraki as well. For over 500 villages in Botswana, for all the clinics and schools and administrative buildings, and deploying Meraki as a managed service out to those sites because of the simplicity. It's one thing that blew everybody away was the simplicity of Meraki, and it was a no-brainer to go through and provide this out to all of those sites, because they can now centralize everything in Gaborone. for Maun, for all of the other counties and villages across Botswana. So really, you know, a technology that has a huge impact. Some of the things I think, just from a base technology perspective, you know, being able to see your switch infrastructure top down, being able to do things like layer 1 cable testing, packet captures remotely, you know, these are all technologies and power that ProComm bring to the table with Meraki. I can click on a port here and I can go run a layer 1 cable test. And if you think about the amount of cables you have in your organization and to keep track of them, they're under chairs, they're under floors, they're in ceilings. How do you test? How do you maintain these cables in your network? And they could normally be, you know, a root cause of a problem for you. So those are some simple, straightforward maintenance capabilities that Meraki brings, or ProComm brings, to the table. Mobile device management, you know, you want to know where your mobile devices are, where your devices are within your organization. You want to know whether they're adhering to a geofence. If they leave that geofence, what is their security policy? Cameras, you want to start looking at, you know, your cameras across your organization. And what we are finding now is that facilities and technology teams are coming together in terms of managing infrastructure. And CCTV is becoming part of the IT infrastructure. It's no longer being seen as a separate infrastructure. And the reason for that is because the technology has changed. So I can, at any point, go to a staircase in San Francisco, and I'm sitting at my home, and I can go view a video feed from across the world in an instant. And if I wanted to see if there was anybody there this morning, I can very quickly just type in, yeah, yesterday, and it will give me the results of anybody who's been in the office. And ProComm can bring this to your business as a service as well. And this is really powerful. This will also allow you within retail spaces to count people, to recognize vehicles, to manage parking lots, to manage the amount of the length of queues in environments. Also, simply for mask detection and the capability of knowing what mask adherence is in our world that we're living in, you can now do that as well. So full analytics capability across the board. Again, in retail, location analytics is really important, knowing how many people come in, how many people go out, how many people are loyal, how long do they stay. This is all stuff that comes with the product. So when Becky said it's an all-in-one, you usually have separate items for a multitude of functions. It now comes in a single orchestrated dashboard. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of those items for you, just so you can see the power of Meraki and the capability that is available today in the market. And you know what? You don't have to pay an absolute ton for this technology to be implemented. ProComm have made it exceptionally easy to obtain this and are very experienced in supplying this out to customers. So I've got a few minutes left until 10 a.m. my time for questions. So I'm going to stop sharing and be happy to just assist in answering questions, Becky, until 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Nick. Unfortunately, we are virtually in one room, not physically in one room. Mm-hmm. The way we do business and has changed a lot. Otherwise, we're gonna give a round of applause if we were in the same room. Thank you so much.
I tell you what, if you want, we can definitely finish with the best drum solo ever, and let's get it going, I think. And then I'm gonna wave you off goodbye, and I'm gonna wish you all a very, very happy day. Thank you for the invitation, Becky. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Before you go, not so fast. One question that has been posted. Someone says, I'm worried about exposing our private data to the cloud.
Great question.
How does Meraki ensure that our user company data is safe, is secure?
Let me tell you.
That's a question for you, just to take.
Yeah, I can show you on screen, and we can also share the URL with you. It's a question we get a lot. We do not at all consume any of your private data. So over here is how we run a out-of-band architecture. So data privacy is really important for us. So we have dedicated a whole web page for your consumption and reading, but here is exactly how we work. So your network operates very similar to your smart device. Let's think about your iPhone or your smartphone. In order for it to obtain configurations, what you do is you would connect to Apple or Android's data center, and you would configure your device. Your device, however, operates independently, and none of your private data or your encrypted calls or anything goes through that data. So it's very similar to Meraki. The only traffic that we consume is equal to 1 kilobits per device per second, and that is exactly management data. So is the device on or off? Has there been any alerting on a cable? What configurations do you want to hold for those devices? Why would you want to hold configurations in the cloud? Well, there's multitude of reasons. One is if you want to scale. So for instance, if you want to scale to 1,000 sites, you can configure one site and you can copy and paste that configuration across the board. If a device fails, if you replace a device, you don't have to reconfigure that device. You simply just add the MAC address to the cloud. It then connects to the cloud and it downloads its settings and it operates independently. So the cloud is there as a controller. All your private user traffic does not go to the cloud. It's only management data. So it's analytics, it's performance statistics, and it's presented to you in a UI which is, I don't know, beautiful to deal with. Any other questions? And by the way, Becky, I'm just going to send you this link. And what this will be is something that you can also send out to customers. I hope that all makes sense. No private data goes to our cloud. Your data remains sovereign in each country and in your organization.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nick. I know there may still be other questions, but we are there to answer those questions. Also, Nick is always available to talk to you if you have any comment you want us to discuss. So what would be important for you as a client is to engage with us and let's come up with the best design solution for you in terms of how you can adopt SD-WAN and take control of your network. So we with this solution,